Mr. Chair and Council. I would like to thank you guys for allowing us this venue to speak. My name is John Scott. I serve as the Community Outreach Manager for the Mid-Atlantic region, also here at Covanta, Plymouth. To my left, I have our Facility Manager, Herman Love, our Regional Environmental Manager, Joe Walsh, and Kimberly Bradford, who also serves as an Environmental Manager for here at Covanta, Plymouth, as well as Covanta, Delaware Valley. Next, I'm going to have Herman Love go into our facility, our operations, just to provide you guys some more insight into how we operate. And then after that, he will also explain the events that took place in December.
Good evening. I thought it'd be better if I gave a description of what the plant does and the process itself, and then explain it so that it could be fully transparent with the event. Well, let me describe what happens first. So, Covanta, the facility, takes post-recycled MSW or household trash, and it goes into a bunker when it is brought to the facility. From the bunker, it is placed into two individual boiler combustor units, right? Where the trash is burned, if you will, or converted to energy at that point in time. The heat from that process inside the combustor units gives off heat to the water walls of the boiler itself. Those water walls then heat up and make steam at about 600 pounds, 800 degrees type of steam, a high pressure steam. That steam turns the turbine for the generator. The Plymouth facility makes enough power for about 20,000 homes in the area, okay? The steam is then converted back to water. It's a pure steam, obviously that prevents any buildup on the tubes themselves. Converted back to water, and the process starts all over again. The combusted material itself then is about a 90% reduction from original source volume. The ash that is made from the municipal waste is used as a daily cover at a landfill. And then we also recycle and remove the ferrous and non-ferrous materials out of it for also post-combustion recycling of the material also. From my perspective as a facility manager, it's similar to any power plant. It's just the source of the fuel is what's different. Waste, coal, or nuclear all have the same. It's the type of fuel. At 2 p.m. on December 30th, a small power supply, and really it was like what I would call it like a 24-volt power supply, failed on one of my computer units, causing indications for tank levels to not indicate properly. It didn't indicate at the time what was wrong. We just knew that the tank level wasn't indicating properly, and the computer initiated an immediate controlled shutdown. Basically, it tells the operator, unable to operate in the current parameters, take the unit offline now, and it starts a controlled shutdown throughout. The combustion fans stay running, it stops introducing fuel, and it removes air from the combustion process in order to stop the combustion immediately. The steam has nowhere to go in the heat that's in there, and the safety's lifted. All right, that's the sound that was there. That was definitely a nuisance, no argument there. Like I said, when you boil the water at 600 pounds, when that relief lifts, it's loud, and it's doing a controlled shutdown due to that condition, right? It's rare. In 30-some years, my technicians that have been there from the beginning, like you said, 30 years is a long time. It's a lot of tribal knowledge. They have no recollection or record of that individual power supply or those supplies ever failing. I'm going to replace them either way proactively, all of them, just to understand it. But when that relief lifted and that steam vented, there's a period of time where it is going through a controlled shutdown. It's venting off that steam, which is an overpressure condition. It's a normal relief, which is unfortunate because it's extremely loud, but it's a legally required way to vent off the pressure. Once the pressure is relieved, the safety is reset, and at that point we went into our troubleshooting mode, found the power supply. My team did all kinds of tests. There was no damage to the boiler whatsoever. It shut down like it should have, and we started up at 11:30 p.m. that night without any problems after that. I don't know what else to say other than it sounds overly simplistic, but the unit did what it should have done on a failure of a power supply where a loss of indication was like that and the operator can't determine what a level is on a tank. Rare as this. The steam that's vented is pure water. Obviously, the only way you can continue to boil it over and over is if it's pure and all impurities are removed, otherwise we'll have buildup on the inside of the tubes. There should be no odor associated with any release of steam event, and I'm sensitive to the neighbors' concerns on the odors. I don't believe it was us in this case because the system exactly operated in a controlled system. The flue gases that are generated, or the gases from the combustion of the waste, go through several different processes to remove contaminants from the waste stream, if you will. We have a scrubber system that uses scrubs gases from that. That was in operation the whole time. Fabric filter bag house for particulate emissions, so that what is going out is not visible from the stack, you only see steam. And our continuous emissions monitoring system, that's what monitors our numbers 24 hours a day. All those numbers are always available for review. We provide them to the DEP regularly. If there's any question on that, Kim, my environmental specialist, really is better suited for that. And we proactively, because there were some employee complaints, we called the DEP to let them know, because if you're a self-reporting entity like we are, I'd rather they hear it from us at the same time and be open and honest with them and say, here's all of our data, that there is certified every year also, that they're able to review.
Anybody else from Covanta want to add anything or what? Yes. Okay, could you just, we're going to open up for audience participation in a minute, but Mr. Andy Mount, could you come up and identify who you are and tell your experience with this event?
My name is Andy Mount. I'm the Township Fire Marshal. Responded on the evening that this occurred, afternoon. It happened, we got the call around 2:30. It was dispatched as a structure fire with explosion and smoke coming from the building across the street from IKEA and behind CubeSmart. It was identified as having occurred at the waste facility. We responded there, were met by the plant operator who advised us of the turbine trip and the venting of the steam. We asked if we could speak with the manager on duty. He said, well, I can take you to the control room, you can speak to him there. We went up through the plant, got to the control room, did not notice anything amiss in the plant on the way up or on the way down. The operator or the plant manager told us at that time the same thing that the plant operator did. We left, we did not smell anything different than what normal emissions from the plant, and we did not see anything amiss in the plant at all. So, any questions?
Anybody have questions for Andy? Council have any questions for the Covanta rep? I have one question. This event that occurred with the release of the steam, has this happened before?
I'm probably not a good person to reply for previous years because I've been at the facility since October 2017 as the facility manager. I transferred in again. There has not been the steam relief lifting since I've been there. I believe previously it was, the last time we had a noise event was my bypass condenser relief that I was working on and doing testing with. But the event that we're talking about with relieving the boiler safeties, I can't answer from before I was there. I'm not sure.
Anybody else? Covanta is familiar with it?
I've been with Covanta approximately 11 years, and to my knowledge, this is the first time that has occurred in the facility.
Mr. Monero?
You mentioned that you're self-reporting and you're monitoring systems. Could somebody maybe just talk a little bit about how you guys work with the DEP and the EPA, what the inspections are, what role they serve.
Good afternoon, good evening. Every quarter, we submit our hourly emissions data for NOx, SOx, CO, HCl, and SO2. We submit our, to demonstrate compliance with our air emission limits. DEP takes that information and reviews it and renders whether or not they believe that we were in compliance or not with our emission limits. In addition to that, we also do our continuous emission. We do certification on our emissions monitors on a quarterly basis as well as on an annual basis. Quarterly, we use cylinder gases to compare our what's called linearity test, where we will compare the values in the cylinder gas with the values that we read on our analyzers, and we will make the necessary adjustments. On an annual basis, we will do what is called a relative accuracy test, where we bring in a third party where they compare their CEM numbers to our CEM numbers, and we have to get within a certain percentage, else we have to make the necessary adjustments to our analyzers. We also do annual emissions testing to ensure that we're in compliance with our metals emissions as well. That information is submitted to the DEP within 60 days of the testing, and then they review it and determine whether or not we were in compliance and let us inform us of that as well. If there's an excess emission event, those things are also reported in our quarterly reports as well.
Are the DEP and the EPA looking at the same things? Do they serve different roles? Is one more stringent than the other?
Well, basically, our Title V permit is basically delegated from the US EPA, and the state of Pennsylvania is called a delegated authority, so they have the jurisdiction to oversee. We also do CC the US EPA on various emissions reports, so they are keenly aware of incidences that may occur or with our reports and stuff, so they're keenly aware.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you want to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that in terms of air quality, Pennsylvania DEP is generally more stringent than EPA. Unlike other states, they have a very active air quality program, and so they have their own set of procedures in addition to what EPA requires as well.
So when all of this stuff burns, is there any kind of an odor to it? That, like, what does it smell like when all of this trash is burning?
Well, you should smell no odor at the facility, because the tipping floor, excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. The tipping floor where the waste is, the trucks come in to offload into the pit, that's under negative pressure. So a fan draws the air through the tipping floor, through the combustion process, and the air pollution control equipment, so there should be no odors.
So when this combustion unit failed and the computer kicked it in to bring it down, the stuff that was burning in there, did that emit any odors in the building at all?
Yeah, I wasn't there. There was no report of that. The combustion fan was still in operation, so we continued to pull that air off of the tipping floor through the combustion process and into the air pollution control. So odors were controlled.
So there was no odor in the building at all?
Nothing on the road.
No, it stops feeding the unit essentially, so it doesn't produce any more fuel, and then what is in there, the combustion stops because it doesn't feed it anymore, if you will, with waste.
Because I know it was a concern of some people, and I thank you for providing us information. There were a few dates between 2015 and 2018 where there were some penalties assessed from the DEP. Could you just briefly talk about what they were, what the violation was, or the extent of it?
Right, there are, the penalties from the DEP generally relate to two things. One are excess emission events. So if we miss 4-hour carbon monoxide standard, in Pennsylvania, it's an automatic penalty. It's not the case in other states, but it is in Pennsylvania. They also have a very stringent requirement for the continuous monitors to be available for CO and furnace temperature.
CO, well, for everything.
Well,
But for CO, it's 100%
It's 100%
availability.
And, for equipment that operates continuously, 100% it's been a challenge. But we do our best to make sure that the equipment is running. If you look over the course of certainly 2018 and beyond, we are in compliance over 99% of the time. So the events that do happen are of short duration and fairly isolated.
So they were not events related to what was being emitted, it was just for the recording of the emission?
Some of them are related to recording, some are related to what was emitted, yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions from council? Okay, is there anyone in the audience who, yes, could you come up to the front, identify yourself and